find a thing you like. Try to find a thing that you really enjoy. Try to find a thing that you're passionate about.
Like an activity.
Yes. For me, early on, it was drawing. It was illustrations. It was comic books. I wanted to be a comic book illustrator. And then it went from comic book drawing and illustrations to martial arts. So, but it was just another thing that I was very, very passionate about. And that was my vehicle out of my dilemma. That was my vehicle out of my own anxiety and trauma and my own issues and insecurities. And find something. Find a thing that you genuinely enjoy, because getting good at things you genuinely enjoy is extremely beneficial for young people, because it lets you know that, like, everybody thinks they're a loser. Every young person thinks they're a loser. At least a young person in the situation I was at. Like, I didn't know I wasn't a loser until I started winning, until I started doing martial arts. Martial arts taught me that, like, I could get better at stuff, that I wasn't really a loser. I just was someone who was, like, in a fucked up situation. But you could channel all that energy that you have as a young person into something and get better at it. And then all of a sudden people admired me. I was like, this is crazy. So I went from being someone who was incredibly insecure and basically a failure to someone who was really successful at this one thing that was very dangerous, that other people were scared of. And that gave me immense confidence and also a real understanding of the direct correlation between hard work and success. Yeah, and also an understanding that you can't listen to people. Because even my parents didn't want me to do martial arts. They didn't want me to fight. They didn't want me to do stand-up. There's, like, you have to understand, like, who you are, and then in the face of other people's either criticism or, you know, lack of faith in your ability to succeed, you push through, and there's great benefit in that. And then you realize that you can kind of apply that to other things in life. You can apply that to critics. You can apply that to social media commentators. You can apply that to a lot of things. Yeah, I think I call the way people live life art. Like, I wrote a foreword to my friend Cameron Haynes' book, and which is right now the #1 selling audiobook in the world. One of the things that I said was that he practices an art that very few people appreciate, and it's the art of the maximized life. And that the discipline that he displays in his life and through his practices and all the things that he does, it's so difficult to live the way he lives, that for someone like me who understands it and knows what he's doing and appreciates it, and appreciates how insanely difficult it is to have a full-time job and run ultra marathons, get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, run a full marathon before work. Like, that's the kind of shit that he does when he's training for these 240-mile runs, all at the same time being like a father, a husband, having this full-time job, also being the best bow hunter on earth, lifting weights. It's like, how does a person do this? Discipline is art. Yeah, I think it is, because it's beautiful for me to see. When I see someone who's really truly disciplined, who, like a David Goggins, someone who just, like, truly maximizes the grind, I feel like there's an art to that. And there's an art to kindness. Like, there's people that are really kind and really sweet, and when I'm around them, it's beautiful. It's like there's an art to them. Well, how you walk through the fire, I mean, you can walk through the fire complaining along the way, or you can walk through the fire and create an example for everyone else, so that the trials and tribulations of their own life seem trivial, because they're comparing themselves to the way you handle things, or the way you handle things with grace and dignity and discipline can show other people that they can handle their own life this way. And there's beauty in that. There really is. And there's so much inspiration to be gathered from other people. If you're a charitable person, if you're charitable and compassionate, and you can look at people, even people that I don't like, I try to look at the best aspects of how they live their life and recognize those aspects, admire them, give them credit for it, there's something that we can all get out of watching the way other people live their lives.